The debates are over in California's jungle primary for the governor's race, and the numbers are in. Now, Steve Hilton is leading in the polls with 22% of the vote. Xavier Becerra leads among Democrat candidates with 21%. Now, the assumption is that Democrat voters in overwhelmingly blue California will consolidate behind Javier Becerra because there's a large number of undecideds, although that group has been shrinking over the past several weeks of debates. Now, increasingly, those undecideds have gone to either Hilton on the Republican side or Becerra on the Democrat side. Disappointing poll numbers for billionaire Tom Steyer at 15%. Now, according to reports, he spent approximately $500 or $600 million of his own personal fortune on the campaign. Now, I wouldn't feel sorry for Tom Steyer, though. He's still a billionaire because he didn't spend that much money, if you know what I'm saying. And it's only his second political campaign. He gained a lot more traction this campaign than in his first outing when he ran for president. Chad Bianco, LA County Sheriff, is polling at 10%. Katie Porter, former member of Congress, is polling at 7%. Now, I've said before on this channel, my prediction is Becerra will become California's next governor. He's a moderate Democrat, and that's allowed him to withstand attack after attack these past several weeks from his fellow candidates. Now, Hilton, similarly, is a moderate Republican. He's endorsed by President Trump. Now, a moderate Republican governor of California, in my view, would be functionally very much like a moderate Democrat governor of California, which is to say, not like Gavin Newsom, who probably will be the Democrat nominee for president in 2028. Now, I view Gavin Newsom as a vulnerable candidate for that reason, because he is so captive to the progressive wing of the party. I also view the 2028 presidency as a potential opportunity for moderates of either party. For example, Marsha Blackburn, U.S. Senator from Tennessee. 2028 could be a great year for her. Now, Nancy Mace for Republicans and Katie Porter for Democrats are up-and-comers, so they could be VP candidates in 2028, and after that, the top job? But that's all about the future. What about now? President Trump scored key victories for his endorsed candidates ahead of the midterms in the Republican primaries in Louisiana and Kentucky. Now, U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana, who voted to impeach President Trump, is out. And why impeach President Trump? For making a phone call? Now, that impeachment inquiry, the first one, was just so offensive. Then the Democrats impeached President Trump a second time, also offensive, for allegedly inciting an insurrection, which he did not do. Okay, his followers tried to breach the Capitol. That was wrong. They never should have done that. How dare they? And President Trump didn't tell them to do that. He didn't lead or incite the insurrection, nothing of the sort. So Bill Cassidy's gone, and Representative Thomas Massie is gone. The representative from Kentucky, he voted against the One Big Beautiful Bill, which gives tax relief to seniors who receive Social Security, provides tax relief for tip income, and tax relief for overtime income. So those taxes become more progressive and benefit lower income earners. It's so offensive that Thomas Massie was opposed to those things. Then he tried to obfuscate his vote against the One Big Beautiful Bill by pushing the Epstein narrative against President Trump, despite the fact that the president has been cleared over and over again. Now, some political commentators have cast President Trump's endorsement of Massie's primary challenger as a personal vendetta. Well, they call it personal, but it wasn't. Tom Massie was trying to do great damage to low-income earners and to America's national security with his opposition to our military actions in Iran, which are not done for Israel only, okay? Israel is our steadfast partner in the region. It's not all about Israel, though. Now, in my view, it's mainly about us, the United States, our national security. Now, Iran was trying to rebuild its nuclear weapons program despite universal condemnation and prohibition legally from the international community. Now, President Trump also put in place the Golden Dome missile defense system, which is several hundred orders of magnitude more protective as well as lethal to our enemies compared to Israel's Iron Dome. For those folks who are upset that the U.S. provides any funding at all for the Iron Dome, Iron Dome is great, but doesn't protect against intercontinental ballistic threats like the Golden Dome, which protects the United States, and the president's relentless diplomacy, which seeks to convert our enemies into allies, also keeps our world peaceful. Now, I don't know who will be elected president in 2028, but he or she will have a hard act to follow. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.